Nope.
David has to give us a piece of unheard of information live on the air. Just like he did last time. Let's have them shut us down, David. Let's see. Give it your best shot there, Tiger.
Okay. I got a good one for you. I talked about these 100 spheres that have come into our solar system. What's happened is we've had these 100 spheres show up in the solar system since 2012, and they have given the Solar Warden people advanced technology that is allowing them to defeat the Cabal. Some very strange things are going on. There's all these ETs in what we call embassies. Some of them are in the Earth, and some of them are spread throughout our solar system, Mars, the Moon, and a variety of other moons and asteroids. And these sphere beings have, as I said, Solar Warden was the breakaway faction amongst these 5 space program factions. The Blue Avians are one of apparently 5 types of beings that are in these spheres. And we're talking now humanoids that have bird-like heads. They're sort of a morph between a bird and a human face. They're 8 feet tall. They have indigo blue feathers mixed with some purple-type feathers, depending on which one you're talking to. And these beings have now given Solar Warden the best technology on the block, and Solar Warden is now enforcing a no-fly zone on the Earth, so nobody can fly in or out of the Earth anymore unless they're permitted to. And there's been something put around our solar system called the barrier, which means that nobody can get in, nobody can get out, and communications cannot get in and out. One of the interesting things is that when the barrier was put up, the vast majority of all the reptilians in their so-called dark fleet were outside the solar system, and they cannot get back in. Another interesting thing that happened is that the royals of the reptilian, the Dracos, that are still here, were willing to betray and asked if they could betray everyone in the Illuminati below their own cadre of royalty, meaning only the top level reptilians. They were going to betray everybody else in their order if they were just allowed to get the heck out of here. That's how apparently real they see this coming event as being for them, because for them, it's curtains time. For everybody else, it's the cosmic springboard. So what's now happening is that there are all these meetings taking place with people on Earth. This gets back to the question of why aren't they bringing this up into space anymore? They stopped doing that in the 1950s and early 1960s, but now it's happening again. People are being contacted. People are being brought up into space. And there's hundreds and hundreds of people apparently are being brought up there in advance of this big mass arrest thing that is going to happen. We're going to see the Illuminati exposed. We're going to see their plans exposed. It's going to be the greatest wake-up call. It's probably going to end up being called the Illuminati Tribunals. It's going to be all over TV. It's what everybody's going to be talking about. Probably once this happens, you're not going to hear any Lady Gaga or Katy Perry or any of that type of music being played on the radio when you walk into a restaurant or a grocery store, because people are going to know now what was going on. There's going to be a huge backlash against this stuff. You're going to see heads of state, major celebrities, major world leaders, as well as shadowy international bankers being brought out on trial. Many of the top-level witnesses, who are the people that can bring down the Cabal, have already been brought off planet because they are in such danger from the Cabal and from the angry public that they are being held off planet so that when these mass arrests and the tribunals take place, they will be testifying from a secure location, meaning not on Earth. The Cabal is trying to find a place to hide, but there's nowhere they can go where they're not going to be picked up. Apparently, a lot of them are planning on moving to Brazil. They do sort of have this militarized nation within Brazil. It's sort of like a separate nation state, 12-mile perimeter, all border militarized stuff with like a little green zone inside where they all have these houses. A lot of them apparently have moved all their stuff there already. They're expecting this thing to happen anytime. And I've been hearing this over and over again, and it is like the boy who cried wolf, and it upsets me because I'm out there defending the alliance. I don't get to talk to anybody in it directly. It's all on a need-to-know basis, and I'm apparently not at a level where I need to know who these people are yet. But Corey is meeting with them regularly, And so I'm getting now a lot more specific details. I'm able to ask questions. I'm able to interact with them. I ask them something. They give me the information. And what they are telling me is, for God's sake, David, get off your ass, hurry the F up, do as much as you can to release this stuff as fast as you can, because it's all coming to a head very, very soon. And one of the most juicy things that I was just told, somebody said they want new information, is that within the next 6 months, where we're going to be 6 months from now apparently is very different than where it is right now. And everything is going to accelerate to warp drive over the course of the next 6 months. That's what I'm hearing. So I hope it's true. I'd love to see that it comes true. You know, I have all these dreams telling me that I'm going to be extremely public, extremely exposed. Already when I go out in public, people spot me a lot of the time, but I still can reasonably go through life without having everybody wanting to talk to me and take a selfie. Apparently in the future, it's not going to be like that. I'll be like a Snowden. Everybody's going to know who I am, and I'll probably have to have security and just, not leave the house, basically just stay home all the time. But I certainly do not live in a militarized compound.
Well, I can live without Lady Gaga, but I kind of like Katy Perry.
Yeah, I mean, these people earned the right to be famous by being talented. And again, they're being tortured. They're victims. They're not.
Right.
They're being raped. They're being abused. They are not happy people. That's why you got guys, like Kurt Cobain killing themselves and stuff. I mean, it's horrible to have a career. It's funny because you think, I want to be famous. I want everybody to know my name. But if you do it through film acting or you do it through being a music star,
right?
Good God.
Right.
It's not the life you thought you were going to have.
It sounds like you were describing Thoth, too. Were you?
Yeah, well, that is an earlier example of these same beings. Yeah, absolutely.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
They came back. They were back there during the time of ancient Egypt. That you see cave paintings of these humanoids with bird heads, and they came back. And they are here to make sure that this whole thing goes smoothly. They brought in these 100-plus spheres. They're basically energy balancers. They make sure that our solar system isn't going to have a catastrophe, so that it modulates the energy increase as it's happening and keeps everything smooth. They're keeping this thing very carefully balanced. The Cabal is not going to be allowed to do mass depopulation. They're not going to be allowed to do mass atrocities. They try and try and try,
right.
But they're not going to be allowed to do it.